Hey, what's going on, my Stormtroopers? My name is Chewbacca Plays, and I'm here with another debate. Today, it's Super Saiyan Gogeta versus Super Vegito. Well, basically all their forms. It's just straight up Gogeta versus Vegito. There's no specifics to it. However, I do want to just clarify right off the bat, we're not comparing the dance versus the freaking earrings. That's a whole nother discussion. If we were doing that discussion, then we'd bring in Merge Zamasu and Gotenks and all those other characters. This is strictly Gogeta from the movie versus Vegito from the anime. Straight up, no questions asked, no ridiculous claims to be made, just Super Saiyan, just base form Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Blue Vegito versus Super Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Kaioken times 100. Those are the characters we're going to be discussing. Those are the characters we're going to be discussing today, and we're going to be starting off with base form Vegito and Super Vegito, and then we'll go into Super Gogeta because I want him to start first. And I am aware of the multiplier difference, but don't worry. If you compare Vegito and Gogeta, it does even out because in the Janemba movie, Super Saiyan 3 Goku was able to shake the universe, and in the Buu Saga, he was only able to shake the galaxy. So there's a vast difference in power, which evens out the difference in the fusion's power. And we're not going to be including time limits either, but we will discuss the time limit difference at the end, just to see if it would make a difference in the overall end discussion. So with that out of the way, Hendrix, please begin.
My argument is Vegito, and then he first appeared was really OP. He was built up to be some type of freaky beast, and he was beast when he first came out, and then he just became more beast.
So what's your first argument as to why Vegito wins?
The reason why Vegito wins is because one. So am I talking about base form Vegito?
Yeah, you're talking about base form and Super Saiyan Vegito for right now.
Oh, Vegito, first of all, he could go square to square with your number and base form. It wasn't that bad. You know, I'm gonna flip right.
Well, yeah.
He was actually doing pretty good. And he was holding his own, so it was kind of like...
Well, my argument would be they both were like universe level. Like Gogeta and Vegito were both universal level. Like they both were threats to the universe. I don't know if Janemba was a threat to the universe or how powerful Janemba was, but I feel like Vegito would at least have to go Super Saiyan to finish it. Like to do it easy, he'd have to be Super Saiyan. However, I do feel like Janemba is a lot weaker than Buhan, just to clarify. But that's another debate for another day. But continue.
And they were. I was just gonna say base Vegito always seemed kind of a little bit more powerful than Super Vegito to me. Maybe it was just because of the way I looked at things. Or maybe it's because I like Vegito more, but he just always kind of seemed more badass and serious than Gogeta. I don't know if that makes sense. Gogeta always seemed like it was more Goku, and Vegito always seemed like it was more Vegeta. So I was kind of like...
I mean, to me, I kind of believe it's the opposite, because Gogeta took everything so seriously, and Vegito wanted to play around and be all cocky and prideful like it didn't matter. Now, granted, you could...
That's the point.
Well, granted, you could make the...
Exactly that way.
Well, you could make the argument that, you know, he was messing around so he could release, he could save Gohan and Goten and Trunks, but when you really think about it, if that was 100% true, then why did he act exactly the same when he was fighting Zamasu?
See, the reason why he did that when he was fighting Zamasu is because he knows he's powerful. He's more powerful than people. Like Janemba, when he first went up against Janemba was a breeze to him, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows that.
Okay. Well,
he went up against Janemba like he was nothing.
Okay. But I mean,
it's not the best argument, but it's pretty solid.
I suppose so. I mean, to me, I feel like both of them are pretty powerful. Like, both of them are pretty strong and fast. Like I said, they're both. I feel like they're both universal level. But I just Gogeta. I feel like Gogeta has the speed advantage. I feel like he's faster. I feel like Vegito would hit harder, but I feel like Gogeta would be faster. Just because you just see him hitting Janemba at like way beyond the speed of light. Like he's got his Punisher drive and like his freaking super mad dance, and he just goes for it, you know? Fight was over in 3 minutes. Sorry. Anyway, Stormy, you gonna continue or what? You just zoned out there, dude.
Yeah, I'm kind of playing Fortnite. It's kind of hard.
No, that's fine.
But anyways, yeah. Vegito, I would say he's definitely stronger than Super Gogeta, but Super Gogeta definitely has a speed advantage.
They both have done a lot of similar things, though, like how Vegito was able to just tank Death Ball from Buhan, just straight up run and kick it, like no big deal. And Gogeta was able to take a full power punch from Janemba in the face and just like not a flinch, not even a flinch. He just stood there.
They're both very powerful, but Base Vegito, I think he would definitely in a fight against Gogeta, he would outpower him. But I think Vegeta would definitely outspeed him and be just faster than him overall.
Okay. Well, when we take it to the next level, when we say Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta versus Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, what's your initial...
Oh my god, I have so many arguments for this.
What are your initial thoughts?
So one of my things is kind of a fan thing, but it's also very true, but it never happened before. Super Saiyan Vegito could technically go Kaioken.
Well, yeah, I guess he could because Goku was able to achieve Kaioken times 10, but he's not seen doing it in the anime as to where Gogeta is. So what's your rebuttal to that?
So, other thing is, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is, used as medicine. Now, the thing about this is, he could not hold...
So, continue where you left off. You're talking about how, I asked you if Gogeta is able to use Kaioken and Vegito isn't. Like, Gogeta's shown using it and Vegito's not. How do you react to that?
I'd say Vegito definitely comprehends this thing. He just hasn't been using it for some reason.
But, like, my thing is, like, in the show, it's like... Let's just say that Vegito can't use it because, for all intents and purposes, it wasn't in the anime. Like, it's like how in the manga Goku can use the Hakai, but it wasn't shown in the anime, so it's like a lot of people don't bring it up for debates. Let's just go with that logic here. It's like it might be possible, but let's not go there just because we don't want to upset people. So, like in terms of raw power, like just regular without Kaioken, Super Saiyan 4 versus Super Saiyan Blue, which do you think would be stronger?
Super Saiyan 3, definitely.
I have to agree with you on that because I feel like it's going to be hard for Gogeta to keep up with God Ki. Like I feel like he needs Kaioken to win this. Like I don't think he's going to be able to put him down just with Super Saiyan 4's raw power. However, I do feel like Super Saiyan 4. However, I do feel like Super Saiyan 4 requires a lot less stamina to maintain than Super Saiyan Blue. So if Vegito isn't smart, then he might, you know, revert back.
I was talking about how Gogeta was playing around more than Vegito. Vegito was more, I'm gonna do this no matter what. Vegeta plays around too much and wastes too many energy on fights.
Oh yeah, in GT. But it's shown that...
He could have definitely killed Shinron there, but he did not take that chance. When he said this is my ultimate attack, he had Shinron pinned up in the corner. At that point, he could have hit him with a Super Kamehameha and ended it all. He could final Kamehameha or something like that. He could have ended it all with one attack. But he instead said this is my final attack, and he shot a big bluff Kamehameha.
Well, yeah.
He obviously could have killed Shinron.
Well, he definitely could have. But the thing with that is, Gogeta was completely aware of the power difference. Like, he knew, hey, this guy's nothing compared to the power that I just obtained. So when you look at it that way, it's like, okay, well, he only did it because he thought that it was going to be easy. Like, he thought he was going to one-shot him with his full power, which means that Gogeta the entire time was holding back a great deal. It's like how Goku, as a suppressed Super Saiyan Blue, can still use Kaioken. I feel like it was one of those situations, you know? I feel like he didn't use his full power, but he still used Kaioken just to prove that he could. However, in the same sense, I do feel like if Gogeta did use his full power, it wouldn't be equal to Super Saiyan Blue Vegito's full power. Just because, again, I feel like Super Saiyan Blue is a stronger transformation than Super Saiyan 4, and on top of that, I also believe that Super Saiyan Blue, you know, Gogeta would have a tough time sensing his God Ki. Unless you want to debate that Omega Shenron has God Ki, but I don't believe that he does.
Yeah, I don't think he does either, because it's never stated that he does, or if he's a god or not.
I mean, it is stated in a few guides that he is a god, but I don't want to get into that because they're not official. But then again, when we factor in Kaioken, it becomes a completely even fight almost. Because I feel like it closes the gap between the two. Because Kaioken times 100 is an insane boost. Like, I feel like Vegito at that point would be probably the weaker of the two. Because, I mean, that's taking Gogeta's power, his full power, and multiplying it by 100. And even if we do, like, highball Vegito and say that he'd be 100 times stronger as a Super Saiyan Blue, then, I mean, that closes the gap between them and makes them equals.
They're kind of equals in a way.
They're equals under specific circumstances, because Gogeta can do Kaioken because he's more Goku than Vegeta, and Vegito can't because he's more Vegeta than Goku. If you make that argument, then they're equals. But once you take Kaioken away, Vegito wins. And that's the crutch that I have to kind of walk on here, is it's... My argument very heavily revolves around the Kaioken ability. Like,
yeah,
if, like, the fight is... Like, if Gogeta... Like, I take an easy win on the grounds that Gogeta fights 100% seriously, like he did against Janemba all the way through, and he utilizes the Kaioken correctly. And those are things that wouldn't normally happen with Gogeta. Like maybe at first, but there's, like, Gogeta has never been shown to use his Super Saiyan 4 form lightly. Even in Dragon Ball Heroes against Broly, he was still kind of cocky and goofy about it. He didn't go for the full range. So, like, it's very rare to see a 100% serious Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And even if we did see it, like...
It's not canon!
Yeah. But, again, it's like, to me, if Gogeta took 100% seriousness toward the fight, I feel like ultimately he would win.
Yeah, I feel like he would win too, but that's just such a not high possibility that he would.
Yep. Now Ghost left. Now, well, we can do this without him. His internet probably messed up. We can come to a conclusion ourselves. I mean, I'm already kind of worried for my victory here, because I just realized how kind of stupid that sounds. It's like the Kaioken's a very dangerous ability to use, and I'm just kind of throwing it around like it ain't a big deal. Like, he like...
He couldn't even go, but he would run out of energy, basically.
Yeah.
His body would get consumed from the inside.
Yeah, it would be like a short burst. Like he'd have it for a little while, but even if he didn't unfuse, he'd still eventually go back to regular Super Saiyan 4. Like he'd get to a point where he couldn't handle it anymore.
Yeah. Hold on. Wait, what? Hold on. And my tablet.
I know, yes, it makes sense. Anyway, so you ready to continue?
Yes.
But yeah, so I do have to agree with you on Vegito's ultimately stronger, but I feel like Gogeta's techniques are more dangerous. Like, Vegito's got fairly basic techniques. I mean, Spirit Sword, Final Kamehameha, Split Finger Shot, like they're all they're all normal ki blasts. They don't have special abilities. As to where Gogeta has Kaioken, the Stardust Breaker, which is essentially a Spirit Bomb, and like all kinds of, it's just crazy.
It's like he's more.
Yeah, definitely. However, in that same regard, I do feel like that it would be kind of weird to, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it would work on Vegito in the same sense.
But yeah, ultimately, I think it just kind of like how.
I think ultimately it's like, even if we do give like the whole, all right, they're equals because in this movie Goku was this power, and in that anime episode Goku was this power, and then like there's a gap in between the Gokus that makes them stronger, because the Vegeta is exactly the same. It's stated that in both that Vegeta was in hell, so like his power would be exactly the same. The difference in power comes from Goku. And like ultimately I think that the problem that we run into here is that if we highball Gogeta, it's still very, very rare that he would be able to pull out a victory here. And I love Gogeta, I really do. I love him to death, but it's like, when you really come down to it, it's a 25-75 situation. Like the circumstances that would have to be in play for Gogeta to win would be completely different. Well, that's fine, but like, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything too, but it's like you also kind of have to ask, well, would Gogeta have to go Great Ape, and would Vegito have to go Red God first if they started in their base forms? And then you kind of have to ask who'd win between God Vegito and Great Ape Gogeta. And I mean, who do you think wins that one?
Definitely God.
Because like you've got Golden Great Ape Gogeta stomping around, and then Super Saiyan God, unstable Super Saiyan God Vegito.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Both forms are ridiculously unstable, but that's what they'd have to ascend to first before getting to their ultimate forms. And then it's just like, at the end of the day, if they don't take each other seriously, then they're both going to get knocked out pretty quick. Like, that's the problem, is they're not used to fighting people that are their equals. Both Gogeta and Vegito have overpowered everyone they've ever fought. And so like fighting each other would be like a wake-up call, and I don't think they'd be able to.
We need to take this more serious.
But at the end of the day, it's like Gogeta wins in terms of personality, because he'd be more likely to take it seriously than Vegito.
Yeah.
But in terms of just overall power, Vegito wins no doubt, especially with his multiplier, and just even if you want to count his fusion time, Vegito lasts an hour and Gogeta lasts 30 minutes. And then both of them in their ultimate forms only last 10 minutes. So like, you want to add...
Their ultimate forms, they fight for 10 minutes and then they go down and have to shut down that form.
Exactly.
That would cut the time in half out.
Oh yeah. Kaioken would just... Well, actually, Kaioken is what made Gogeta last like 10 minutes. Yeah. So you could make the argument that Kaioken is what made him only last 10 minutes and that he'd last longer as a Super Saiyan 4. But since Gotenks couldn't handle Super Saiyan 3 and reverted back to his base form before his fusion ran out, then I also think that it's pretty likely that Gogeta would revert back to Super Gogeta before his fusion time ran out.
Gotenks is very young. Less experience, less strong, less technique, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So when it comes down to it, I think that would not happen. Because Gotenks is a whole different story.
Well, yeah, because Gogeta's a whole lot more experienced, yeah.
I'm saying in a really serious fight, if they name their powers, they try to preserve some of that power that they have.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I feel like Vegito and Gogeta are very like smart characters because they have Vegeta's battle Goku's battle strategies mixed with Vegeta's like overall instincts, like Saiyan instincts. Vegeta can be pretty intelligent. Oh yeah.
Especially since his wife is immortal. Like, when you think about it, he legit lives.
Yeah, he lives with a scientist. So it's like, heck, the whole reason that Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta went Super Saiyan 4 was because Bulma was like, oh, yo, science.
Because
so like,
oh, you know Super Saiyan 4? And he was sitting there like, what? Where is this?
I don't know. That's a whole nother. I think that Gogeta would be smarter though, just because in GT, Goku is very like street smart. He's very battle strategy. He's a battle strategist. He's a lot more of a battle strategist. And in Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is a lot smarter in GT. Like he hangs out with Trunks and Bulma a lot more. He's shown being the head honcho of Capsule Corp and being a normal dad and like doing businessman things and helping with lab experiments. The dude's a scientist. So he's like way smarter than our Vegeta and Super, who's just like training. So ultimately, it comes down to this discussion of Gogeta's smarter and has so many more techniques, but at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, because of Vegito's raw power, would it even matter?
Exactly. Like Vegeta's base form is powerful enough.
Far beyond Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Like if we lowball him, equal to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but there's no way he's only equal, because Super Saiyan 3 got bodied by Buhan and base form obliterated Buhan. Like, well, not obliterated, but humiliated.
Yeah, humiliated is a way better word.
Yeah, because he didn't obliterate him until he went Super Saiyan, but he definitely humiliated him. And we could also compare them from like their higher forms. Like, I mean, you could say that Vegito could use Kaioken, but I don't think he'd be able to handle it as well as Gogeta could. And then another thing is, and another thing that you got to think about is Super Saiyan Blue in the manga and in the anime is shown to take up a lot more stamina than their regular Super Saiyan forms, as to where Super Saiyan 4 is like, it only does that the first time.
This is a really big thing about Gotenks transformations, that not all people are just like Super Saiyan 4 was never perfected.
Oh yeah,
So
like
Super Saiyan 4 is definitely not perfected yet. Like it hasn't been perfected. Okay, yeah, Goku has also other instances, but does that mean that he perfected Super Saiyan Blue? Yeah, hell no. Because he perfected Super Saiyan Blue.
yeah, they're entirely different forms, yo.
Yeah, it would give him entirely different forms. He'd have more God. He'd have
The only time we ever see complete mastery of Super Saiyan 4 or Super Saiyan Blue is in the Dragon Ball Super manga, and then in Dragon Ball Heroes. You have the mastery of Super Saiyan 4, where it's got perfect ki control and more powerful than the red Super Saiyan God. And then you've got Super Saiyan Blue Goku, who's able to literally keep his ki on the inside and focus it into parts of his body specifically. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, of course.
That's fine. But it's like, ultimately, I feel like at the end of the day, any way you slice it, we're never really going to get a definitive answer, but I feel like it's 40% Gogeta's favor, 60% Vegito's favor, just because of raw power and God Ki. I feel like even though, in terms of smarts and speed, it leans toward Gogeta, I feel like Vegito is just a whole nother level, unfortunately. Like, I'm willing, you've won me over with your argument. I've got to kind of accept that Gogeta is a weaker transformation, and Kaioken's the only thing keeping them in the same category.
So I did good.
You did good. You convinced me, dude. I've been the Super Saiyan 4 guy for a while, and now you kind of won me over. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have a new outlook. So, I always viewed Super Saiyan 4 as stronger than Super Saiyan God, but now I don't even know. Like, you just turned my whole world upside down, bro.
I did. Probably. You turned my world upside down. Now I got you gotta think about stuff like GT. Like, I barely ever think about GT.
And
so,
we just sold each other, dude. Yeah, same. Yeah, we really did. I feel like we just became closer as friends.
Yeah, definitely. That was like a connection. I
sold you and you sold me.
Yeah, I'm kind of like GT. What is GT now? Like, I kind of can't figure out what GT is.
Yep.
Because I'm so confused in my head.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our final verdict. We don't know. We have no idea. So let us know in the comments.
We watched this whole video, and you guys don't even know?
I'm sorry.
It's hard, okay?
It's a difficult thing to think about. Well, I think what we've come to is Vegito's stronger in terms of raw power, but Gogeta is smarter and more strategic, has more techniques. Do you think that's a fair thing to say?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but Vegito was just, in terms of power, he wouldn't obliterate Gogeta. It would be a fair fight up until the end, when Gogeta would probably run out of energy. Like, he'd probably go Kaioken from the start, because that's his strategy, and then just waste all his energy. He just can't take it anymore.
Probably.
He'd power down. He'd probably try to get the fight finished as fast as he could.
Yeah, again, the issue here being these two fighters aren't experienced with people on their same level. They're fusions. They don't know. They don't know how to not be cocky.
They don't know what to not do. Like, they're not good fighters in a way, because they don't know their own limits.
Yeah.
They've never been tested that far.
No, that's the real weakness of fusion, is these fighters don't ever really get out that much. So they don't know. They don't know what's waiting for them when they're like Pokemon in a way. They just get summoned when it's time to fight. They don't know who they're fighting or how powerful they are. So they just do what they normally do, and they either win or they lose. They don't really know.
Yeah, they're like, it's kind of like, what's a big
and when you think about it, the exact same thing happened to both of them. In their first fight, they won easy, no questions asked. But then in their second fight, they both got knocked out of their fusion.
Yeah,
and they also both had to ultimately finish off their villains with a spirit bomb.
Yes, which is very good, but the thing about this is, I have to admit, this is a very big thing. If Super wasn't around and Black Goku never happened, Gogeta would have smoked Vegito. Like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no
Yeah.
comparison.
Even if
Unless
we...
I said, oh, Super Saiyan God Vegito, which can contain his energy better than Super Saiyan Blue, that would have been a good argument. But now that Super Saiyan Blue Vegito's around, it's like, I'm sorry, Gogeta, but it just
Yeah.
doesn't work out like that.
But yeah, so I think that we can say that Vegito wins, right?
Yeah, I think
It breaks my heart, but I think we have to say that Vegito wins.
I think Vegito. The reason that he wins.
I mean, the dude's got higher power, higher multiplier, everything, dude.
If Kaioken would have been a fragment in this, and he would have let Kaioken slide, it would have been even worse. Like,
yeah, like because then Gogeta would have been like Kaioken times 100, and then Vegito would have been like, oh, times 10, and he'd still be stronger. Like,
exactly. Because it's just like Vegito could go Kaioken, but you weren't gonna let that slide. You were like, nah.
Well, that's because I knew that, like, that's when I started to get worried, because my whole argument revolved around Kaioken, and then you were trying to give Vegito Kaioken, and I was like, oh, no.
No, we're not about to do that. I'm lose if you do that.
Yeah.
That was kind of the reason. I could kind of tell that you were starting to get worried when I said that, because like your whole voice changed. You were like, so what's up, guys? And today we're gonna be talking about Vegeta, and I was like, so my first argument, Vegeta could go Kaioken, and you were like, no, that's not right. Like your whole demeanor changed.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, back up.
You were like, nah.
I'm glad that this is going to become a regular, because that's the thing. That's why we debate, is so we can learn. That's the whole reason debating exists, is so two people can try to sell each other on their ideas. And you know, today I took the loss, but I learned something. And it's, don't revolve your entire argument around an ability that drains all of your power. I mean,
this is like saying, okay, so let's go, I don't know, Sasuke versus Might Guy.
Yeah.
Might Guy uses the gate. That frames, that legit kills him from the
yeah, I mean, like...
And Kaioken does too. It's basically the same thing. They drain and kill each other from the inside.
I mean, I think that 8 gates is a lot less dangerous than Kaioken, just because Kaioken is like, it literally drains your life force. Like, it rips your soul out of your body over time. So, like...
No, I think 8 gates is more dangerous because you actually... people have actually like gotten seriously injured. I don't remember what happened to my guy after he used it, but like he just gets messed up. Even if he takes it out for like a second, all his clothes are off and stuff after he's done. His whole body's burned from the inside out.
It looks really similar to False Super Saiyan when you think about it.
But it is very messed up, and some things in Dragon Ball and Naruto are just too OP. Like you can't.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like if you had someone like Superman, like just like a random like DC or Marvel character, do some of the things these anime characters could do, you'd have an unstoppable, omnipotent being. Like, could you imagine if Superman or the Incredible Hulk was able to go Super Saiyan 3, 8 gates, or some BS like that? Like, these characters that could regenerate would be unstoppable.
Yeah. I mean, Superman in a way can't.
He can't do it on his own. It's the sun.
Yeah.
Superman's power revolves around solar. But again, debate for another day. Point is, guys, today, Gogeta takes the L. And so, you know, let us know who'd win in the comments down below. Let us know who we should debate next, who I should debate with, characters you'd like to see us debate in the next video. My name is Ssj4 Plays. My name is Ssj4 Plays, and I will see you all in the next video. At ease, my stormtroopers, and peace. That was a lot of fun.
That was a very good argument.